Hello and welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath, and I've got a quick 4K review for you guys for The Italian Job, the original 1969 Italian Job with Michael Caine. This is the movie that gives us the line, "You were only supposed to blow the bloody doors off." That's from The Italian Job. So this is hitting 4K Blu-ray combo pack. There's also a Blu-ray by itself coming from Kino Lorber at the end of January 2023. This review is hitting a little bit before that. And I've spent a lot of time with this disc. You know, I really like The Italian Job. I like the remake version, the Hollywood version, but it doesn't touch this one for me. However, if you only know the Hollywood version, the big, it's movie star, it's muscular movie stars. This is something completely different. This is 1969. This is Britain. This is very dry. It's very cheeky. Sometimes it's very silly. Hey, Benny Hill is in this movie. And there's even a scene where Benny Hill is in they've sped him up. You know how in the Benny Hill show he'd chase women and he'd be all sped up, and they play yakety sax. So it's almost like that. There's no yakety sax, but they've sped him up for comedic effect. But it's also just really dry. Like the first hour of this movie is just kind of methodical, procedural. It's a heist movie. Michael Caine is a career criminal who's just gotten out of prison, and he hears about a job in Italy to steal $4 million in gold. And so he starts putting the team together, getting the tools together, and we see how it all lines up. And the first hour or so is set up, and then once the job starts, it's just like, whew. This is like all the Mini Cooper stunts. They do all these real practical Mini Cooper stunt effects. It's not even effects, just stunts. Done with the full cooperation of Fiat. They drive Mini Coopers onto the tops of a stadium. They do Mini Cooper stuff in the sewers. They do Mini Coopers going up and down stairs. I mean, building to building, roof jumping and stuff. It's crazy. This is not visual effects. This is not digital. This is, a 35 millimeter camera pointing it at the action. It's remarkable, and it's a lot of fun. Music by Quincy Jones. And again, it's just so British, but you got to know what you're getting into, because again, that first hour is really dry. But for guys like me, I really enjoy that first hour. So the 4K here, this is where it's going to be. It's from Paramount, and Paramount is kind of hit or miss when it comes to their transfers. So this has a new HDR Dolby Vision Master from the original 35 millimeter camera negative. And it looks good. It looks good. But I think what Paramount does, and I don't know this, but I think they do DNR on their 4Ks to manage the grain, to make it smoother, and it's also kind of grayish. They've dimmed it. It's dark. A lot of 4Ks are darker than Blu-rays because you're supposed to replicate theatrical conditions. No lights, dark room, and it does have a very cinematic presentation. But then I put in the Blu-ray and I was like, oh, this is great. So the Blu-ray has more grain than the 4K. And the colors are brighter. Now, that could be a good or a bad thing, because we talk about this sometimes. Blu-rays were marketed as being bright and colorful. Sometimes they were artificially made so. That's not necessarily the original vision of the movie, to be super bright and colorful. So I don't know here. We have two, they're not night and day different, but the 4K is a little bit darker and it is a little bit smoother. But you got both options here. So I don't know. I don't know which one I prefer. I like the colors of the Blu-ray, but I like the resolution of the 4K. So I don't know. I wish I could marry them together. I will say this. There's been no drastic color deviations. We're not trending blue or green. We're not trending yellow and orange. Seems like they've left the colors alone. It's just a little bit dimmer. And you can adjust for that with your settings. There's a ton of special features here. I want to point this out. So we have 2 audio commentaries by the guy that wrote the book on The Italian Job. So Matthew Field has one commentary with the screenwriter of the movie and one commentary with the producer. And there's a 90-minute documentary on the Blu-ray with they talked to Michael Caine. They talked to Robert Evans from the studio. They talked to Quincy Jones. They talked to everybody associated with this movie. The cinematographer, the screenwriter, producers, everybody. 90 minutes, feature length. That's from 2009. And then there are 3 2002 special features, like shorter. They're about a half, 22, 23 minutes that are from, I guess, an earlier DVD release. And then there's a 17-minute feature on Mini Coopers and what was then the 40th anniversary of The Italian Job. There's one deleted scene. There was only one deleted scene on this movie, and it has an optional audio commentary by Matthew Field, who is the expert on The Italian Job. He was also involved with the production of that 90-minute documentary I was talking about. And then the theatrical and the re-release trailers. So it's a loaded package. And this is reversible cover art. It does have this on the other side. I always liked this poster because it's got that 60s sexy kind of thing going on. But it's not really representative of the movie. He never has a machine gun. So, I don't know, but we have both options here. All in all, I'm very happy with this presentation of The Italian Job. I'm just not sure which version I prefer, the Blu-ray or the 4K version. I'm kind of trending. I'm kind of leaning more towards the Blu-ray just because I think that those colors really benefit this movie. It is the 60s. It is, a very swinging kind of a movie. But I'm really glad that movies like this are getting attention in the 4K marketplace. So I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can pick it up if you do want to add it to your collection. You'll be supporting Serial at Midnight. And I want to know what you think about The Italian Job. We can even talk about the 2003 Italian Job if you guys want to. But this movie for me is it's a lot of fun. And I'm just delighted that we're getting to talk about movies like this on 4K. So let's continue the conversation. Guys, thanks so much. Take care. Until next time, I will catch you later.